Hello, beautiful souls. Happy Twin Flame Tuesday. I hope you're all doing super well today. So, we are in beautiful full moon, full supermoon in Scorpio today. It's all fallen on the same day. So, there is a video that I've already put out for the full moon. So, if you haven't seen that, then definitely worth checking that out. We are now in a completely new energetic phase, which is a lot more action orientated. There's a lot more stuff going on in the physical reality. You know, all of that stuff, all of those changes and shifts and things are outlined in the other, in the full moon video. So do go and have a look at that if you haven't already. So, as always, for a twin flame read, we're going to have a look at the heart space, mental space, and physical space for the divine masculine and divine feminine energies. And I know I say this every time, but just in case you're new, what we're really doing is we're looking at the divine masculine, divine feminine energies within oneself. So, of course, this is reflected outside of yourself. When we're looking at, you know, a twin flame or soul flame partnership, the energies always take place within before they take place without. So if you're, you know, hoping for union with your twin flame, with your divine feminine or your divine masculine, the energies need to unite within yourself before that can happen outside of yourself. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at what's going on. We're going to look at the divine masculine energies first, because the divine masculine collective is leading the feminine collective now. Since the Great Conjunction back in December, there was a little flip-flop, and the collective switched because the feminines were originally leading the masculines. Now it's the other way around, so we're going to start with the masculine collective. I think this is going to be a very interesting reading, because now we're in this next energetic phase officially, with the full moon has brought with it this shift. Oh, hello. Okay, this is our first card. Yeah, you know, the energies they're subtle, but they are now officially changing to be more physically orientated. You know, things taking place more in the physical reality than within ourselves so much. So we're officially in that energy now. So right, let's just dig straight in. Obviously, if you want more information on that stuff, then go and check out the full moon reading. I don't want to repeat myself too much. So for the divine masculine heart space, then we've got dance, celebration. So within heart space, the masculine's feeling very free and happy and joyful, which is completely in alignment with the present energies with this full moon. We did past, present, and future energies. So it looks like the masculine. I mean, we did we did past, present, and future energies in the full moon reading. So it looks like the masculine is definitely in alignment with the present full moon energies within his heart space. So this may or may not be conscious. Excuse me, I need some tea. But this is certainly how he feels. The heart space is the emotional center. There we go. Sorry, I'm a little bit raspy today. Yeah, you know, he's this is how he's feeling. Like I say, this is his emotional center, so he's feeling very relaxed, and really embracing the full moon energies and embracing the new you know, energetic phase that we're in. Oop. Wow. Cards are just flying out at me today. Okay, so we've got waning moon. What do you need to release? So of course, whenever we, this is interesting, right? Because I mean, not that I'm going to disregard the fact that this card is a waning moon card. We are in full moon energy right now, which is always about release. And this here, you know, what do you need to release? Release always happens within the heart space. Ultimately, it happens within the heart space. We can let go of things in the physical, we can let go of things within our conscious minds. You know, we can make the decision to let things go. But you know, the final purge really comes from the heart space. So I'd say, I mean, it's always good news, right? Even if we pick up something, maybe signs of difficulty in these readings, that just really helps things to translate into the conscious mind. But when we see this kind of stuff going on in heart space, this is always really good news, because this is the beginning and the end. You know, the heart space is where things are born and where things die, I suppose, where they end. Heart is where the soul resides, it's where your true desires reside. Heart is where things are really happening when it comes to energy. So the masculine's feeling this dance, celebration energy, this very joyful, free feeling, because he's just completely let go. He's completely surrendered to what's going on around him. And I don't mean within the physical reality, I mean within energy, because as you guys know, I don't read stuff and things, I read energy. So he's, you know, he's really embracing the energy that is currently around, which is this very free and easy release, surrender. Very, very good news. You know, he's feeling very happy. He's just embracing life as it is right now. Gosh, I only need one card, please. Okay, we'll take this. Thank you. The decks have a lot to say today. Okay, we have the Mapmaker of Destiny, Authentic Purpose, Inspiration and Free Will. Yeah. Masculine's feeling really good. He's thinking about the things that he, well, I say thinking, he's feeling more so, because we're going to look at mental space in a moment. But he's really dreaming up a good life for himself. He's thinking, for lack of a better word, of the things that he desires, the things he wants for himself in his life. Feeling very optimistic about the future, about the present, but also about the future. You know, and this is the natural state of being when you've just completely let go of your trauma, and you've let go of your pain, and you've let go of the past, and just allowing things to leave, you know, naturally just leave. People come and go, situations come and go, nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. And the masculine has definitely embraced this. Cool. Revelation. This is a fire card. I really feel that he's got this clarity, you know, he's just so relaxed himself to the divine. You know, he's just completely surrendered, and with that surrender there's this revelation, if not plural, has come forth. It's like he's just completely understood to have a good time in this physical reality as a human, you know, playing the role of being a human. You need to be to be optimistic and positive, and you need to be in surrender, right? You need to release the things that are no longer serving and just embrace the now, and be positive about the future. Beautiful. Let's see what's going on then for the Divine Feminine within her heart space. Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen the feminine under a bit of illusion. If you want to play catch up, then do. The last couple of weeks worth of twin flame readings have been, well, they're always very interesting in my opinion, but you know, it would be good to, if you haven't seen them, to perhaps catch up on them, just to see where you know, where we've been. Excuse me, because that always helps to understand more where we are right now, you know, to see where we've been. And it's really interesting that we have here full moon completion. Not only are we in full moon energy right now, but the feminine's finally, she's surrendering to it. She's releasing. The feminine over the last couple of weeks, just as a recap, the feminine has been really holding on to her masculine. I mean, not in like a clingy, needy, dependent way, but she's made the decision, I want my masculine. I want my masculine, I'm ready, I've done the work, I'm ready. And she was kind of rushing things. And in the last reading, I seem to remember me addressing the feminine collective and saying, look, just chill out, you know, just relax, slow down. It's not going to come if you keep this kind of mindset and this energy around you. You really need to just work on yourself some more. If it's not happening right now, it's because it's not time. Otherwise it would be happening. And it looks like the feminine is just now relaxing into this energy. She's actually following her masculine now, which is what the feminines need to be doing. Because the masculine is absolutely in the here and now. He's using the current energies to the highest degree, and the feminine wasn't doing that. She was just so super eager. Which in the physical reality, that comes across as dependency, this panicked kind of I need you now sort of energy. I mean, that's how it translates. That might not be what it was born out of, but that's how it comes across. And I mean, being a feminine myself, you know, I can understand that that's definitely not the energy it's born out of. It's more of a, you know, it's like a feeling of readiness, right? Feeling ready for union, knowing that the feminine's done all of the work that needs to be done. But the reality is that she may feel ready, but she's not ready if she's focusing purely on her masculine and nothing else. Whether you're, you know, obviously this is a collective reading, so some of you may be in union. I'm guessing that if you're watching this reading, you're not. So, or even if you are, I mean, the information is still useful, obviously, because we're looking at the energies within oneself. It's only becomes manifested within the physical after that, right, after the fact. So the feminine's just really relaxing now, which is more the point, you know. So let's keep going. Let's see what else we've got here. But this is really good news. You know, we've been waiting for this for the last few weeks, and it looks like the full moon in Scorpio that we're experiencing right now, it's speaking to the heart space because it's a water sign, so it's emotional. You know, there's a lot of emotion that comes with that, but also mystery, right? There's illusion that comes with Scorpio, but it looks like there's been a bit of a reversal here. where illusion's actually being lifted. Which, you know, makes sense because we're now moving into we are now in, officially, the next energetic phase, which is going to last us all the way through till October. So there's really no rush, right? There's no rush for things. We've got plenty of time. We've got the whole summer. Right, yeah, okay, so we've got a full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. So Virgo is an earth sign, and Virgo is very introspective. Virgo is very quiet and looks within and quite analytical as well. And usually Virgos are quite hard on themselves. But we've got this full moon, we've got full moon, you know, I can see here that the Divine Feminine Collective is just completely surrendering. I think she's had enough, honestly. I think she's quite tired of the last few weeks. You know, that energy that she was residing in was pretty exhausting, really. She was just like, is it happening yet? Is it happening yet? Is it happening yet? And being in that energy it's tiring. I think she's just finally embracing the goddess that she is. This you are good enough, which you can't see, sorry. Is that better? I can't move the cards and look at the same time because everything's behind me. There we go. This you are good enough. I think she's just finally, you know, because she was, for the last few weeks, the feminine was kind of looking at herself and then kept asking herself, can I be accepted into union the way that I am? And utterly convinced that she would be, which was what spelled her readiness, you know, for union. But there was a bit of self-doubt there. There was a bit of, I'm doing this for my masculine, I'm doing this for union, I'm working on myself so that I can have union, rather than just doing it for herself, whether union's around or not. Which, you know, is quite sad, really, isn't it? Because the feminine was missing out on her own growth because she had this burning purpose, and that was, I'm doing this for my masculine. And I remember saying in the last reading, like, pack it in. You know, you're stronger and you're better than this. Don't do this for anyone else other than you. Reclaim your power, for goodness sake. Well, looks like that's exactly what the feminine's now doing. So well done, feminines. Well done, feminine collective. You are finally embracing the energy that's around, and this is really going to serve you so well. So let's see what else we got here. Look at that, surrender to change, right? There's the surrender right there. The phoenix being reborn from the ashes, a new beginning, completion, right? Completion of a cycle. There's that full moon again. So I'm so proud of the feminine collective right now. She's finally just surrendering, which is exactly what the masculine has already done and is doing. She's falling in line with her masculine, and that's exactly what needs to happen. This is the will of the divine right here. Oh. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Immediately this flew out. We've got soul connection, right? Okay. What this is saying is that because the feminine is doing this stuff, the connection is having new life breathed into it. The feminine was actively stunting this connection with her attitude towards it and towards herself, really. But because now she's embracing herself, you are good enough, she's embracing the energies that are around, she's surrendering, it's reigniting this soul connection. How beautiful is that? I mean, we couldn't hope for better news, right? There's going to be a lot of unions happening over this summer, over this energetic phase. A lot of unions are going to happen. Not all, but obviously we'll keep checking in every week to keep an eye on things. But this is great news for a lot of you in the collective. Okay, so let's move on. Let's have a look at mental space. Let's see what's going on in mental space for the Divine Masculine. What's he thinking about? What's he conscious of? You're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. Okay. So the masculine, very similar to last week and the week before. The masculine is not thinking about union. He's not concerned with it. He's not worrying about it. He's just completely surrendered. He's completely open. I mean, if he were consciously thinking about union, which he isn't, but if he was, he would be thinking, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Either way, I'm going to be fine because I love myself and I'm good with myself and the things that I'm going to build for myself in my life. Now, feminines don't panic, okay? Just because the masculine's not thinking about you and is not thinking about union doesn't mean that he's not ready for it, right? The irony here is because he's not thinking about it, he's more ready than the feminine is. And as soon as the feminine steps into the masculine's realm, he will be the perfect partner, right? He'll be completely ready for it. And union is free to happen because he isn't dwelling on it. He's not thinking about it. He's not concerning himself with it. He's just like, yeah, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And this is the same attitude that the feminine needs to have for it to happen. You have to just release it. I mean, it's all well and good knowing that you want something, but if you beg and plead and pray and just wholeheartedly focus on that one thing that you desire, I mean, do you get it? Usually not, right? So, just saying, right? But feminines really need to chill out still. I mean, this is great. We'll see what she's thinking about. I have a feeling there's going to be a bit of a lag, but we'll see. But the masculine, he's just, you know, you're not for everyone. He's just completely open. If there's masculines out there watching this who are single, well done you, right? You just completely embrace the fact that you are destined for a certain group, I'm going to say, of souls. You know, a lot of people end up marrying their soulmate, not their twin. Some people do marry their twin, most people don't. So I'm going to say a group, right, rather than an individual. You are destined for a group of people. You'll pick one, unless you're in a, you know, poly sort of situation, in which case your twin might still be around, right? I'm getting a little bit off track here, but I think what I'm trying to say is that the masculine is just open to the connections that come his way, but at the same time, energetically he's open to it, but he's just not thinking about it. I think he's quite happy with being single and just kind of doing his own thing. He's just he's just happy with what he's currently doing, whatever it may be, whether he's single or not. And he's very aware that he's not for everyone. So, you know, if he gets himself into a relationship that doesn't work out, he's not going to beat himself up over it, because he knows that he knows his own worth. I think that's the point here. He knows his own worth. He knows that he can make himself happy. He knows that he has the ability to do things for himself and to move through this life either with someone or without someone. He's completely content, right, in himself. So let's see what else we got here in mental space. I'm really loving how just relaxed the masculine collective is right now. He's not worrying about things, he's not concerning himself with anything, he's just chilling, you know, he's just embracing and surrendering to the energy that and to his feelings as well. Is this the wrong deck? No, it's not. Okay. Okay, so we've got stone people, vigilance. Yeah, he's not keen to make any changes right now. He's quite happy just doing his own thing. He's just really not keen to make any changes. I almost feel actually that if an opportunity, let's say, you know, for a relationship, whether it's with his feminine or someone else, whether it's a karmic partner or soulmate or whatever, I feel like he's not making much effort, right? And I don't mean that in a negative way. He's just so super going with the flow. He's like horizontal right now. He's so relaxed. This is almost like a state of rest, actually. I think the previous energetic phase, you know, the one that was from December until now, I think it was particularly hard on the masculine collective. A lot of masculines, because the feminines were leading the masculines. The feminines were waking up, let's say, the masculine collective all the way through till December of last year. And this energetic phase that we're now coming out of, this is where the switch happened between the collectives, and that was quite hard for the masculine collective. I mean, it was hard for the feminine collective too, don't get me wrong. The feminines were used to leading, and then they had to become accustomed to following. However, I think the masculines probably were a bit more exhausted because they were used to following, and then they had to step up and lead. And that's pretty harrowing when you're not used to doing that. And not only that, but the masculines were becoming more consciously aware of themselves, of energy, of the divine. They were waking up. They were, you know, changing a lot of themselves, whereas the feminine did their waking up in 2018 and 2019. And they needed to, so that they could lead the masculine, so that they could sort of bring the masculine collective on to the point where the masculines could then lead the feminines. So the feminines have been doing a lot of work. But, you know, over the space of 3 years, the masculines have only been in this leader energy for a couple of months, really. So I feel that the masculines are now just, they've reached a point within themselves where they're just where they understand and embrace themselves, and there's this very strong sense of calm now that's just laying over the masculine collective, where he's just He's just relaxing in that energy now. I'm actually getting the image of a lion, and his pride is, you know, his women, right? And his cubs, like they're all laying around him, all very relaxed because he's very relaxed. They're taking their cue from him, and he's just laying in the sun, and he's sort of dozing in the sun, where he's just so I'm really struggling to articulate this, but he's just so confident in his own ability that he can just sit and relax, you know. And it looks like the feminines are now really following suit. So let's see what else we've got here in the mental space. Beautiful. This card's been coming up a lot, actually, for the masculine and the feminine. The Fire Prince, optimism and aggression. It's interesting, isn't it, that I just mentioned the lion, because the lion, being Leo, is a fire sign, and I said he was sat in the sun as well. And Leo's home sign, home planet, not that the sun is a planet, but it is the sun. Yeah, interesting. I channel information without realising I've done it, and that's exactly what's just happened. But yes, here, this optimism, this very fiery, we've got Leo vibes going on here, definitely. I actually don't feel like I have anything else to offer here. I think the masculine's just really reveling in how he's feeling. You know, we've got fire here, we've got more fire going on there, we've got fire going on for the feminine. The feminine's definitely following now. She's surrendering to following and not leading so much. The masculine's just completely embracing himself. This, you know, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness and face your true north. He's embracing himself. He's completely relaxed and confident within himself. He's this stone people vigilance. He's not wanting to change anything right now. It's not even that he wants or doesn't want to change things. He's just not changing anything because he's joyful. You know, this dance celebration. He's very joyful in what he's currently experiencing. He's just feeling very confident. You know. So let's see what's going on for the feminine within her mental space. Cards flying out in every direction. We've got the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, and integration time. This is surrender right here. This is surrender. It's what's going on within her heart space has translated into her mental space, and she's thinking about it consciously. She's just letting it all go, right? She's surrendering completely. And it's leading to this activation and spontaneous awakening. She's having revelations. She's gaining a lot of clarity from her now relaxed approach to things. There's you know, we're seeing depicted here this portal. There's a divine feminine actually standing in the flame there. I feel well, it's interesting as well, isn't it? Because we are kind of stepping through a portal right now into the next energetic phase. I'm interested to see, actually. I mean, we've got another week to go, but the 5/5 portal is coming up. The 5th of May, so we'll do a reading for that, but I'm interested actually to see in a week's time how things have moved on. Obviously we'll have a twin flame reading next week as well, there's so much changing, there's so much shifting. It's all happening energetically. We'll start to see it within the physical very, very soon. But I'm getting off track. So it's difficult sometimes for me to pluck out the right information because everything is intertwined, literally everything. Oh, don't forget your tea, everybody. I nearly forgot about mine. So so yeah, you know, the feminine, she's really she's just really following her heart right now. Her heart knows what's up, and she's surrendering. This integration time is heart and mind becoming one. Right, earth magic, fairy. So she's thinking about what she wants to manifest in the physical reality. And you know, when we see fairies, you know, it's very dreamlike, right? So, excuse me, and again, she's thinking about she's dreaming, right? She's like dreaming up a perfect life for herself. She's thinking about what she really desires. And because heart and mind are becoming unified, she has a better idea. She's asking what she wants for herself, less so. It's not that she's putting union down or the idea of it down, because she's not. But you can see here that she's really falling in line with what the masculine is doing. He's not bothered, right? He's not bothered whether union happens or not, because he knows he's good either way. And so the feminine is thinking, right, well, now that, you know, I've been focused so hard on union, if I don't focus on that so much, then what? You know, then what do I focus my energy on? What do I want? What do I want to do with myself? How do I want my life to look? What do I want to experience? So there's this very optimistic, dreamy, fantasy type sort of energy going on within her mental space. Really beautiful. She's definitely following the masculine here. She's taking her cue from this very proud lion. And we've got the dragon's jewel, inner conflict, morality and conscious choice. Crazy. That's so crazy. Because I literally just said, if I don't think about union, then what? You know, like the feminines are in this sort of mindset, and we've just now had that confirmed with the dragon's jewel. She's wavering back and forth, like, I don't want to put union or the idea of union down, but if I do, then I'm free to pursue other things whilst I'm like hanging out waiting for union to happen. There's a little bit of conflict going on there. There's a lot of feminines as well. Right. There's a lot of twins who are in separation, so they've already known one another, and they're now in separation. Now, obviously, there's one or two things that can happen once the twin flame connection reaches this point. They either resolve their bullshit between them, between each other and amongst themselves, you know, individually, and then they come together and they reunite and they move into true union, or they don't, and they end up with, you know, a soulmate connection. And that might be that they've just decided consciously to kind of give up on the connection. It's just the damage that's happened is irreparable, so we can't ever go back, you know, next lifetime kind of thing. Or it could be that they're working really hard on it, and because they're working so hard on it, it also can't happen. The feminine has been I think I'm speaking to a particular part of the collective here who's in that situation, right? So if this doesn't resonate with you, then this isn't for you. But for those of you who have known one another and are now in separation, so you know who your twin flame is, you've already had a relationship with them to a degree, you've experienced them in this physical reality, and you're now in separation. Whether you're in communication or not, irrelevant. The masculine's completely let it go. He's surrendered to the separation. That doesn't mean that he doesn't want it, you know, union in the future. But as we've seen here, at great risk of repeating myself, he's not thinking about it. He's just surrendering to how he's, you know, how he's doing right now. The feminine hasn't. The feminine's been really holding on to it. She wants it again, you know, she wants it to come back around. And she's been working really hard on herself so that she can have union. Which, as we've now discovered, is not the right way to go about things. That's not going to bring about union. That's just going to cause more pain for the feminine, and it's going to continue to damage the connection, the energetic connection. So now that we see that the feminine's just surrendering, you know, you are good enough, right? You are worthy of union, feminines. You're understanding this now. It's reigniting the soul connection between you. But it's required this surrender to change, as we're seeing here in the Phoenix. But she's still thinking about it, right? I feel like she's kind of halfway house. She's still afraid to let go. Totally understandable. Totally understandable, because logic dictates that if you let go of something, then it won't happen. But energy dictates if you let go of something, then it will happen, because you're giving it the freedom to move and to morph into and manifest into whatever it is destined to be. But you have to let it go. You have to allow it the space that it needs to realize itself within this physical reality, or certainly the way that we're you know, brainwashed into thinking, is that something will only manifest and come into fruition if you drive it there, if you mold it yourself, if you make it into something. This goes completely against the law of energy and the law of manifestation and the law of the divine. And when I say the law, it's just the way that it is. Its natural way of being is that it needs to be left alone for it to do its own thing. It needs its own freedom. The way that we approach the divine quite often is like taking an artist, right? Someone who's a free thinker, a very creative soul, and locking them in a cell and demanding that they have a masterpiece completed by the end of the night. Obviously, that art is going to suck, because the artist is not free to express him or herself as they see fit, which is how creativity works. Now, this is an example that many of you, I'm sure, can grasp, right? Energy works in the exact same way. If we're holding on to it and we're thinking about it all the time, and we're pining after it, and we're just hoping and wishing and praying that our masculine or our feminine will show up, they won't, because the energy is imprisoned. It's imprisoned in your own mind, in your own ideal as to how it should manifest, how it should come about, how it should feel when you have it. So the feminines are having this kind of conflict where she's so used to carrying it around. She knows what she wants, which is great. You know, she knows her own mind. She knows what she wants. She knows that she's holding her masculine in such high regard in her heart space. She wants union so badly. But she is starting to understand that she's got to let it go. She's got to release it if she's ever going to actually have it. The masculine's already done that, and the feminine is in conflict between her logic, which is not accurate. Not that her logic is not accurate, but logic in general is not accurate. Logic kills dreams. You got to cast right, feminines. You got to cast aside that logic, right? You just got to cast it aside. It's not helping you at all. It's actually making things way worse. It's hindering you. It's imprisoning this energy. Set it free. Just set it free. So let's see what's going on then in physical space for the masculine. I've just noticed the sun is creeping up our cards here, so I will try and make this quick before we can't see what we're doing. So physical space then for the divine masculine. There's a lot of potential energy here. Well, I'm not sure what I'm going to actually be reading here, whether it's current or potential or future, because we are now at the beginning of this energetic phase. Okay, right, we're looking at current energy. Thank you. We have an air sign here, thought, right? So the divine almost is kind of referring us back to what's in the masculine's mental space. I'll finish what I was just saying. I was going to, well, I was in the middle of saying, I'm not sure what energy I'm going to be reading here, because we're moving into, oh, I keep saying that because I'm so used to saying that. We are now in the next energetic phase, which is physically orientated. Things haven't been happening in the physical reality since December, which was the last energetic phase. But now things are manifesting or going to manifest like crazy between now and October. So now that we're looking at physical space for the divine masculine and the feminine collectives, I wasn't sure what we were going to be reading, although technically we're like a day into it, so obviously things aren't going to happen, snappy overnight. It's all going to happen very gradually, but we are in physical energetic space now. So, but we're seeing here thought. So the masculine is still very much thinking about what he wants his physical reality to look like. He's not making any changes. I mean, we wouldn't really see any changes, to be honest, today, or even over the next week. We'll see what the energy holds for next week with our next twin flame collective reading. But there's a lot of thought going on for the masculine. He's not, like I say, he's not making any changes. I mean, we saw that here with this stone people, right? Within his mental space, he's not keen to change things up just yet. He's just reveling in what he's currently in. Complete surrender. Oh, there's a little gap between me and this space, and I keep nearly throwing the cards down the little gap. when the deck gets all jumpy, the cards try and slide down the gap. Okay. Physical space. Yep. Beautiful. Alright, so we've got ritual, invocation. So there are things that he wants to manifest. His how to articulate this, he's got way less of yeah, it's like his approach to making things happen in the physical reality has completely changed. He's now driving things forward in an energetic way and not so much a physical way, because he now completely understands. That's what this is. He completely understands that to make things, exactly what I just said, in fact, he understands that for things to happen in the physical reality, they have to happen within himself first. So he's kind of gone back to the drawing board, and he's asking himself, what do I want for myself? This is the map maker of destiny right here, right? What do I want for myself? He has all of this enthusiasm within his mental space, so he knows he's building up, he's getting ready to actually experience the things that he's decided that he wants. But he's not making moves in the physical reality for it to happen, because he just knows that it's naturally going to unfold as long as he holds it within his mental and his heart space. This is true manifestation. This is the purest way of viewing manifestation for it to actually happen. So we'll see next week how that goes for him. But this is how it works, right? This is how manifestation truly works. What do we want for our last card here? Let's go for the Starseed Oracle. Actually, this isn't the Starseed Oracle. Oh, hello. Pillar of Light. It's one of the Starseed Oracles, was what I was going to say. Your vibration is rising. You are the Oracle. Yeah, he understands completely that he holds the power within himself. He just totally gets it. He's totally surrendered. As a feminine, I actually feel quite relieved that the masculine collective is leading the feminine collective, and the masculine knows exactly what he's doing. Feminines, we couldn't be in better hands, right? The masculines absolutely know what they're doing. The feminines just really need to fall in line and follow and stop trying to control everything all the time. Again, I'm talking energetically. Obviously, the dynamics are always going to be different in the physical reality. Men don't always know what they're doing, right, ladies? But energetically speaking, they really do, right? So the feminines really need to follow in line with things energetically. So let's see what the feminines are doing in the physical space. Okay, we've got two. I'll take it. We've got two. So we've got power, which is an air sign. And we've all. Shall I read these together? Right. So we have karma. All right. So the feminines within their physical space, they're starting to see cause and effect. It's interesting, actually. I've just noticed that here for the feminines, we've got two spirit cards. These are elemental. This is an elemental deck. So we've got fire, air, and then the fifth element of spirit. This soul connection, this karma. That's really interesting. I'm sorry, the light is really creeping up fast. I'm trying to be quick here. Yeah, how interesting is that? Oh, and actually, we've got two air signs here as well. We've got thought and power. Okay, right. So this shows me that the feminine is letting the masculine lead, with the two air signs there. The feminine's kind of coming into her power, and like I say, this karma thing. You know, she's understanding the law of cause and effect. As within, so without. Like, she's really embracing and understanding that. And she's looking at within her physical reality, right, my physical reality looks this way because of the energy that I'm holding within myself. So if I want things to change outside of myself, I need to change things within myself. I need to change my attitude towards things. I need to change the way that I you know, perceive things. I need to change my perspective. I need to change my my reason for doing things, right? She's really grasping this, and that's good, obviously, because she is more capable of manifesting the things that she truly desires when she surrenders to this law, and this understanding of it. So, see what else we've got here. These decks are so chatty. You can't see, but there's cards just flying all over the place. And that's not that I'm terrible at shuffling. Alright, again we've got two. That's really interesting, right? This flew out, as I said. These decks are really chatty. Right, so I feel like this is a little tongue-in-cheek message here from the Divine that the cards have got a lot to offer. The cards are they're flying out for a reason, I'm being told. Okay, so the true card here for the reading then is Chalice Fulfillment. Yeah, so we've got more of what I just said, right? In order to manifest, the feminine needs to surrender to the law of cause and effect, of as within so without, as above so below. She needs to surrender to this. She needs to look within before she looks without. The physical reality will morph and change based upon how she feels and how she approaches herself. Not even her life, but how she approaches herself. So let's wrap this up then. Last card, Divine Feminine, Physical Space. Amazing. Sometimes I'm just astounded, you know, by how accurate the shit is. Obviously I do this for a living, so I completely wholeheartedly trust it. But when this happens, right, creating heaven on earth, it's happening, and we were just talking about manifestation and what needs to happen for manifestation to happen. And then we see this as a confirmation. Beautiful. I mean, there's nothing else for me to say on that front, is there? So I will leave it there. Really interesting. Again, if you want to, you know, play catch up and see what you know, what's led us here, then do check out the twin flame reading from last week, maybe even the week before. And do go and look at the full moon reading as well. We're in full moon Scorpio, super moon. I don't know how to word that. It's all of those things. Today I put the video out yesterday, just in honor of not bombarding everyone with videos on the same day. So yeah, do go check that out, because that will definitely shed some light. Obviously we're looking at the masculine and feminine collectives here, but the full moon looks at the entire collective as a whole. So you know, we'll certainly give another facet there of energy and messages. So I will love and leave you. Remember, everybody, that you are valued and you are important and you are worthy. And I will see you guys in the next one.